In fact, we're seeing several crashes pop up in the last hour or so.
Yeah, unfortunately, pretty long wait times, too, if you're out on the roads, especially one on 94. Part of it is currently shut down. So let's get right to CC for an update this morning. Hey, CC.
Hey, good morning. So yeah, over in Dayton, 94 westbound was completely closed at Dayton Parkway here because of a really serious crash. And in a couple minutes, I'll actually show you video of how that crash happened. Now it looks like they opened up one lane, so things improving slightly in this area. But even though this one lane is open back up, you may still want to take an alternate route while things kind of flesh out. County Road 81, Highway 10 would be a really good alternate for you. This has actually improved since the last time I saw you. This was up to 135 minutes. It would take you over 2 hours to get from Monticello to the Maple Grove area. This is the stretch where I'm seeing the most crashes, the most slick spots. This is much better compared to, what we're talking about. But Highway 10 could be a good alternate route wherever you are on that stretch, really. So keep that in mind. Across the rest of the metro, things are slick, but they're not the worst. You could still get to work perfectly fine, whether you're on 494, 169, 35W. I'll let you know if that changes, though. Okay, back to that crash in Dayton. We'll show you how it happened. It looks like a semi hit a guardrail and was kind of off on the side. A squad car was keeping its eye on it when another vehicle hit that squad car, and the squad car went spinning. That's how slick it is. And it ended up turning in the other direction facing traffic. So that's why they had to shut down that stretch of road. Just showing you how slick it is on that stretch. I mean, I've seen snowplows in that area just trying to make sure that it's not slick anymore. Their efforts are working, but still slow go in that area.
All right, thank you, CC. It is very icy out in a few spots, especially Northwest Metro, obviously where those accidents are. I will tell you, the roads look good. And that actually makes it more dangerous, right? You're driving faster and then you run into the icy patches. I always believe when you're in the middle of a snowstorm, everyone's going 12 miles per hour. It's actually safer, even though you see more accidents. They just are more serious accidents on mornings like this. And you can see the road conditions right now. Most of them are actually improving, and we have half of them are good. It depends. You got to check your route because it just looks like where you're at. You can see some of these are green. Some are blue, and you can see that across the Twin Cities right now. We're actually clearing out. We got some clear skies coming in here from Alexandria to the Twin Cities. Temperatures are dropping. Take a look at these temps dropping. Winds are howling out here, so we'll talk about the temps crashing today and that snow potential Saturday in your forecast.
John, thanks. We'll check back in a bit. Well, to our top story we first brought to you as breaking news at 10 o'clock this morning. The Minnesota House is finally getting to work.
Yeah, nearly 4 weeks into the session, lawmakers struck a power sharing agreement. Audrey Russo is live at the state capitol, and Audrey, still a lot of work to be done here.
Yeah, still a lot of work to be done. The DFL party is expected to come back to the Capitol for the very first time this session in about 4 hours. But make no mistake, a source tells us this is not a victory lap for these two parties. We're told there's still a lot of hard feelings as this 3-week stalemate comes to an end. Now, the DFL and the Republicans reached this power sharing agreement in the last 12 hours, and a source tells KARE 11 this is what that pact contains. They say that Republican Representative Lisa Demuth will be the chamber's speaker through 2026. That source also says that the GOP will chair all House committees while the party has a 1-seat majority. On March 11th, when a special election in a historically blue district likely ties the chamber, then the two parties will come together and co-chair the two committees. So there will be a full House today. The DFL is expected to answer questions from the media around 9:30, and then the Republicans will have their turn at 10 o'clock. Jason, Alicia.
All right, Audrey, thank you so much. And like she said, the more than 3-week stalemate is partly because of a House seat that is currently empty. In the last 24 hours, Governor Walz put a special election for that seat on the calendar for next month. Voters in Roseville and Shoreview will head to the polls on Tuesday, March 11th. A judge ruled the winner in the November election could not be sworn in because he didn't meet residency requirements. That left a temporary 1-seat majority for House Republicans and led to the chaos that we've seen in the chamber. Governor Walz originally called for that election last week, but the Supreme Court said that was too soon. We're also tracking a huge deadline tonight for federal workers to decide whether to accept President Trump's buyout offer.
That's right. So far, tens of thousands have already opted to resign right now and get paid through September. But with the clock ticking and a big decision on their hands, Michelle Beck is tracking some new developments coming in from overnight. Hey, Michelle.
In an NBC News exclusive overnight, top officials in the U.S. Education Department gave this warning to staff. The White House buyout offers could be canceled at any time, or the government could just stop paying. That, of course, further complicates the new administration's hopes for government downsizing. Also, the promises made to 2 million of its employees that if they quit now, they'll get 8 months of pay and benefits. Pressure has been mounting in the hours leading up to tonight's 11:59 deadline, as officials sent a reminder that layoffs or furloughs could come next. So far, about 40,000 federal workers have accepted the deal, and that's in spite of unions suing to stop the president's plans. And as soon as this afternoon, a judge in Boston will consider whether to block it all from happening. But if it does, there are ways it can impact you. More on that coming up in the next half hour. Alicia.
Michelle, thank you. Well, this afternoon, students at the U of M will be in front of the student union protesting to keep ICE off their campus. The emergency protest comes after the university announced it's complying with court-backed ICE immigration orders put in place by the Trump administration.
In about an hour, crews in Washington, D.C. will be back on the Potomac River to finish recovering the plane wreckage from last week's deadly mid-air collision. Officials expect that work will be done by today. They will then turn their focus to recovering the Black Hawk helicopter. It's been 1 week since the helicopter collided with a passenger jet, killing all 67 people on both aircrafts. Officials say data from the chopper will be critical to understanding how the crash unfolded.
We're tracking new details coming into the newsroom about the ongoing Amber Alert in Wisconsin for a missing pregnant teen. In the last 24 hours, charges were filed against 40-year-old Gary Day, accused of kidnapping 16-year-old Sophia Franklin on Sunday. Prosecutors say the two met online, and she previously ran away with him to Arkansas. She later told authorities she was pregnant with his child. The two have a no-contact order. Anyone with information on where they are should call 911.